Ahmed, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Ahmed Sarsour, and I am originally Palestinian. I have been living in Sudan for 21 years up until 2023. That's when we fled the war that started there, the civil war. It started on the 15th of April of 2023. We stayed there for almost 6 weeks before we flee the country because we couldn't do it anymore. Like we have everything there and we were hopeful that the war is going to end, but it didn't. It actually lasted for almost 2 years. This is why we got out of there and got here back to Gaza. I arrived here in Gaza, like in my hometown in Deir al-Balah, on the 1st of June of 2023. But I wasn't actually planning on staying. I only came because it was the only option. Because
Mm,
when we tried to evacuate from Sudan, they stopped us at the borders, and Egyptian authorities also asked for a huge amount of money to get us like visa to get into Egypt. It was 5K dollars for each person, and we didn't have that kind of money on us because we were already started a project, and we put most of our life savings into it in Sudan. This is why we were kind of broke at that time. And then the embassy meddled and said that they can get us from the border to the border, which is Argil border between Sudan and Egypt, to Rafah border between Gaza and Egypt. And when we got here, we just had to issue new passports and new IDs because we came here as Sudanese, and Egyptian authorities stopped receiving Sudanese. We issued the new passports and new IDs, and we got our names signed up on the Rafah crossing. But unfortunately, the war broke on the 7th of October of 2023, and that's why we are still stuck here.
mm. Um, you're a poet, Ahmed. How important is poetry to Palestinian culture?
Well, a lot of famous poets, especially Mahmoud Darwish. He's a famous poet that most Arabs share his quotes, share his lines, share his poetry through the Middle East culture, and also I believe nowadays a lot of Westerns are using his poetry. Its poetry is about resilience, about resistance, and also about fighting back and for justice and I guess injustice. So poetry is a vital thing for not just Palestinians or Arab. It's
Mm,
all for all nations, the oppressed nation, because it's a way to express yourself and to defend what you can defend with your hands. So if you are not powerful enough to say something, at least you can use your voice, raising your voice and speaking up for your people and for yourself. So it's a way to express yourself to defend what you can defend using other methods.
mm. What are some common themes in poetry? Usually, it's resistance, it's survival. What would you say are the most common themes usually?
Um, well, everyone has its own theme. Like there's a lot of people who are writing about love, But for me, I never found myself like writing about these kind of stuff. I have social anxiety. Like I have been diagnosed with it wasn't confirmed, but it was confirmed that I have panic attacks, and it was sometimes developed to social anxiety. But it's still the final diagnosis wasn't final, but it's still. So for me, I used to write to express my feelings and the things that I can't say to other people. Like I'm always whenever I sit with people, I'm always stuck inside of my mind. Like there's a lot of thoughts, a lot of talks, a lot of conversations that I can't even share with people. So my writings was a way to express myself. So my themes, it was about mental health, about depression, about anxiety, and also about expressing the things that I can't talk about to other people. And when I got here in Gaza, I was so depressed that I couldn't cope with like I had been out for 21 years. So basically I came back as a stranger. I was 9 years old when I left and came back when I was 29, almost 30 when I came back. And the culture is different. I didn't have any friends here. I barely know my relatives. I only know my sisters, and they have and now they have like this whole in-laws family and kids, and it was a lot for me to process at once. So this is why I started expressing myself through poetry again, and feeling stuck here it gave me a purpose. Now I'm using poetry not just for writing about the things that I try to bury inside, like the things that I can't talk about, but it is a way also to express myself about the situation that I am living in. I'm trying to change something. I'm trying to advocate for my family. I'm trying to advocate for my people. I'm trying to save myself and save my people, and especially my family.
Of course, of course. Where is your family originally from, and how did they end up in Sudan?
Well, my mom and dad originally Palestinians. My dad, he's originally from here, like Deir al Balah. My mom, she's from a town called Al Fallujah. There's also Al Fallujah in Iraq. So no, it's not the same one. There's also Fallujah in Gaza, in Palestine, sorry, in Palestine. So yeah, and my mom, she's an immigrant. I think her grandparents immigrated when the Nakbas, I think, started, or like the war in 1948. But yeah, and my father used to study overseas, like he used to study in Jordan and in Saudi Arabia and in Libya, but he couldn't finish his studies because for some reason uh, it kind of has been followed by being a Palestinian. Like, you know how Arab countries and Arab nations these days, they don't actually show support for Palestinians, and this has been going on for forever now. It's not, this is, it didn't start just now. It has been happening for so long now. So my dad, he couldn't finish his study there. He was like harassed and he faced a lot of issues and everything. So he ended up in Sudan. Sudan was really welcoming. The people there are really generous and really kind hearted and
Mhm.
sweet. And I just love them so much. I consider myself as as much Sudanese as much I am Palestinian. But yeah, so my dad got to Sudan to finish his studies. And then I think he was feeling lonely or something because like he asked my mom for us to come visit him like, and to stay for 1 year with him. That was on 2002, and we went there to visit. It was, the plan was only for 1 year only. And yes, I do have a GFundMe. Sorry, GoFundMe. So I'm replying to the comments as well.
No,
So
no.
yeah, and then we went there, but then another war started here in Gaza when we tried to come back. So the borders were closed. So we got stuck in Sudan. See,
Okay.
and then whenever we try to get back to Gaza, there was always a war, the borders closing, and we start the school there. So it's been binding up an year over an year after a year after a year, and voila, 21 years. And
Hmm.
this is how we got to Sudan.
Right, right. What war was it? Was it the 2005 war, or when you first went to Sudan, or
2002, 2002,
2002?
I think.
Okay.
I think Al-Intifada was 2001, and after that they have a lot of issues here. And I think we didn't even finish school. Like and this is from my memory. I just remember this kind of stuff because like they always used to pull me out of school because like the Zayos used to bomb the areas and fighting. And back then the Zayos were among us. Actually, they were living among us, and that have these settlements that is still up until this moment, like in Deir al Balah. People are not using it anymore. Like they're using it all if you're farming. No one is living there, but it's still like it is. It's still the history can tell that they used to exist here. So yeah, I think the Intifada was 2001, and then we traveled to my dad, and then another war, I think 2003 or 2004, something like this. I can't remember,
Mhm.
but I told her like we tried to come back multiple times, but whenever we try to come back, there always a war. And I think in 2007 or 2008, it started the civil war, and people also were in panic, and a lot of riots here, so we couldn't also come back.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Um, what are some of your favorite poems that you've written, and could you read one off, maybe one of your favorite ones?
Yeah, of course. I think since we are on the topic talking about Gaza and Sudan, I think I can read the poem that I am famous with. It is called Don't Leave Us Behind. It tells the story of how we got out of Sudan and got here to Gaza, got stuck, and how the thoughts were rushing inside of our heads. Not just me, also my mom. and how I saw the atrocities being committed against my people and everything. And it was also about sending a plea to the world to not give up on us. So yeah, I will recite this poem. It is called, as I said, Don't Leave Us Behind. I took an eraser and erased myself today. I like the idea of me vanishing into thin air, away from all of the suffering we have endured. As I am being carried away by the wind, along with the leaves of olive trees, I couldn't help but think of my people. As I travel from the river to the sea, watching all over the children who cry for their Pacific back, the backpacks are filled with red roses, drawing a path for me to follow. The ashes and smoke who travel side by side with me to warn the people to run away. How the little pieces of metal flew right into me, reaching them before I do. I shook my mind out of it, frightened of the thought of them reaching the home I left behind. I found myself rushing with the southern wind to get away as fast as I could. I felt helpless. I wanted to leave all of this fear and injustice behind me. On the edge of city borders, I got stopped by a wall made out of shouts and screams. The screaming voices echoing inside of my soul, advising me to go back. I hear them saying, "This destination is out of your reach. You don't have enough on you to pass. Like the 35,000 souls who are standing by my side ain't enough." They asked for the 10,000 coins I gave along the way to the people who needed them more than I. It's funny that a year ago I was on the other side of that wall fleeing a similar fate. As the northern wind was blowing, I was advised to retreat, catching my ride before I get stuck for eternity in this limbo between hell and paradise. The northern wind was ready to flee. She shook my hand, asking me to join her. I put my hands into hers, flying and soaring above all of the land that once was ours. As I got carried away by her, I stumbled upon the rubble of my sister's house. I looked all over their things, which were very deep down in the ground. I found the rose that has grown from the rubble, reddish, tall, with her face facing the sun, wishing for me a happy return. As I waved goodbye, seeking refuge in the middle area of what I've always known as home, in between palm trees and olive trees, tossed by their leaves with the breeze, I found my way into one of the windows I climbed ages ago. I remember how my mother was racing every time to catch me before I fall. Now, I see her face would filled with tears. Her breath is racing, sitting next to the empty bed, holding the pillow of my dreams. Her prayers of mercy upon my soul, wondering if I'm ever finding my way back. I can hear her blaming herself for letting me go. How do I do this? She asks. How can I rewrite this story so I can have all of my children around me? What path led us to escape one awful destiny to fall into a darker one? How can I fix this? As she inhales lost in between cries, I got sucked by the air leading me to her lungs, into the blood, into her heart. As my feet step into it, I can feel the warmth of her breath, the familiar smell of home. I always wondered where it came from. I can feel her batting on her chest as if she can feel me close to her. As I embrace the rhythm of her heartbeat, I fight to open my eyes, hearing the sound of my beating heart, alarming me of my anxiety attack. As that story came to an end, I woke up to the sounds of demons, creating new nightmares for us to endure. The sky was raining hellfire on those who were seeking refuge in what is a so-called safe zone. The smell of burning flesh, the screams of tortured souls rising with the smoke, to the sky banging on the heaven doors to take them before they suffocate from the injustice of this world. Among the shouts, the cries, and the rubble, there was I and those who were left on the ground wishing for these nightmares to end. So I am asking you, are you going to take a stand? Because if you were thinking of erasing yourself today, would you take us, would you please? You can't leave us behind. The end.
Round of applause. I think that's a very good I think that's a very good poem. I don't know. It's so good at capturing your emotions, everything, your life story. What has your experience been since October 7th within Gaza? Could you give us like a little bit of a story there, or
Yeah,
if
for
only? Yeah.
yeah. So my sisters, they are living in Khan Yunis, and we live in Deir al Balah. So I think in December, yes, after 2 months of the start of the war, my sisters got to evacuate Khan Yunis, and they came here to stay with us. We were sheltering with us 5 families. Besides my sisters' families, like I have 2 sisters married to 2 brothers. So they are 2 brothers-in-law. I have 2 brothers-in-law who are actually brothers. and we accepted my elder sister, my younger sister, and then the brothers and sisters of my brothers-in-laws and their parents. We were sheltering 5 families with us. We were almost 27 people, and my sister, she was actually pregnant. And in the beginning of the war, there were no baby formula. There's no diapers. There's nothing, and we were trying so hard to find her this kind of stuff. This is why I was trying to advocate for my family so hard. Like I fought my social anxiety to get onto the screens and asking for help. I even though I now I am speaking with you, you can see that I can speak clearly and I am kind of well versed, but I haven't been like this. Like I used to have panic attacks and I used to stutter a lot. I used to forget the words that I want to say. So yeah, my sister gave birth to a girl called Rose. I mentioned her on the poem I just recited when I said that I found a rose that has grown from the rubble, reddish tall with her face facing the sun, wishing for me a happy return. And actually, their houses got destroyed, and they were staying with us. My elder sister stayed with us for 14 months. They were sheltering with us. My younger sister, who gave birth, only stayed for 6 months, and after that, my in-laws decided to go and seek another shelter because my aunties who were living in Rafah, they got evacuated as well. So we accepted our aunties and my uncle's wife and their sons and daughters, and we were again sheltering another 5 families, but not the same 5 families. And then my sister got pregnant again, and in February she delivered a baby boy called Yusuf. I also include him in one of my poems. I called the poem "Windows, Walls, and a Door," because he got born. He managed to get born in the and it was really cold and on a windy day. And my sister, she was sheltering like in a kind of destroyed house. The houses and the walls, the doors and windows that they used to have, it was made out of plastic and wood. And at the same time, I think there was Trump was finally getting into the office, and then he asked Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, to come and visit. And then they were asking about how they want to immigrate us and how they want to level Gaza to the ground. And how he was saying that Gazans and each group are the savage ones and terrorists and who don't have any respect or any laws. While in fact, the Israeli prime minister and IDF army, they were the monstrous ones. And this is how I connected the two events, like my nephew being born and interviewed at Prime Minister and Trump had on TV, and he was like having this smirk and look on his face, and it just made me so angry, to be honest. And at the same time, our request, it was like really simple. We just were asking for a homes that only have walls, windows, and a door. And I can recite for you the poem if you would like, so you can get a
Yeah.
grasp.
Yeah. Is Yusuf Rose's brother, or is it the other sister?
Rose and Yusuf are brothers.
Okay.
Our brother and sister, sorry,
Okay.
sibling. So as I said, Yusuf was born on a windy day. It was on the 7th. It was on the 6th of February, and I wrote this poem on the 7th of February of the 2025. It is called Walls, Windows, and a Door. Trump, obviously complicit, hates us as he seeks to immigrate us. And as they plan our evacuation, this forced immigration, they leave us to death in all its forms. As he cynically acknowledges the scenes of death and destruction around our homes, he refuses to say who's behind this orchestrated play. The devil in front of you all, the sole cause of it in whole. The destruction was never a downfall. He's proud that he kept the war machine rolling, that it kept enrolling as hits kept bowling. He smiles with a smirk and eye rolling in disapproval of peace talks presented on the table, happy with his 3 goals and his war label. Ironic, true. But what's more ironic is us being envious of the people who live next door, who have walls, windows, and a door. I hear one saying as his voice breaks, as he asks while tears fall and his heart aches, do you have walls? windows, or doors? Or is it just a tent like mine with lots of doors? Can you host me? My tent is leaking. My kids are freaking. I am freaking. Hard to stay beacon as the cold keeps peeking from the shredded plastic that made our fears shrieking. My plastic door and windows couldn't hold. Can I borrow some plastic to fix them before it gets cold? My body parts are frozen, working in fear to prevent my kids' tear and their souls from falling into its sphere by the cold, the glacial thief who keeps on calling. Winter used to be the favorite season in Gaza, with the smell of baking coats, hot beverage on the seashores of livelihood, and the warmth of life camps, of fire camps, that hosted at every chance, with barbecues, happiness, and joy in all avenues. Now, these same shores are the lone source of despair, a daily life we had beyond repair. We used to rush to our homes when we feel the cold, and the fun was done when the night was cold. Now, there's no place to rush to, as the children cry and the parents weep when tents start to fly with souls to the heavens deep. Winter is no longer a friend. Cold is no longer fun to play pretend. Campfires only tear our exhausted bodies that long to return, and as ironic as that sounds, we only need walls, windows, and a door. That's all we ask for. So invest in giving us homes. Don't send us away. We have already lost too much up till today, so let us stay on the land that holds our loved ones in its belly, and where all of our memories lie, buried under the rubble and houses that are shelly. We don't ask for too much for you to ignore. Just walls, windows, and a door. The end.
So that's a very beautiful poem. Um, and I think it captures so much about how betrayed you feel, how desperate the situation is, but also the humanity of the Palestinian people and your own family. Outside of headlines about Palestine, what's one thing you wish people understood about it? Just outside of what they see from the news.
Well, I wish people who advocate for it is not real, and the people who keep bringing the Holocaust up, that they can see us as human beings as the same way that they see Jews, because our war is not against Jews. Our war is against Zionism and Zios, and the people who are saying that we are human animals, we don't deserve to live. We're not just humans, not as equally as them. Like the ethnic cleansing and the atrocities being committed against us on this level, it it leveled far beyond the things that happened in World War One or two, the things that Hitler done to the Jews. This is like the Holocaust that they are mentioning now is happening again. They said never again, but it's happening to us. Like they are the ones who said never again, and they are doing it to us. So I just hope for the people who support the Zios, they can understand that there's a difference between Zios and Jews, and there's a difference between what they say that the war is. This is not a war against the religion or against anything. It's a war about against humanity and all of human beings. Because the things that they are doing, you let them keep doing whatever they are doing. You will be next. They will not stop at this far.
Right, right. No, of course, of course. I mean, I feel like a lot of what America is planning to do is being tested in Palestine. Technology, weapons, surveillance, and it's already being implemented here. I mean, you cannot ignore what's happening in Palestine. ICE is already starting to employ some of the AI technology that they were using. Um, what do you hope for the future of your family and Palestine?
Well, I just hope that we can get out of here alive.
Mm.
Um, because like with each day and month passes, with the starvation, with the brutal attacks that is happening, we are getting more step closer to that. Like in the beginning of the war, we didn't feel the tremendous effect of the war on us because we are living in the Deir al-Balah. If you know Deir al-Balah, it's the last city standing. But like a few days ago, they issued an evacuation order to the half of my city, and we were scared that these evacuation orders will get to us. And now you can even hear the surveillance plans roaming there, like it has been going on for almost 5 hours over my neighborhood, like going in circles. and this makes us anxious and scared and afraid about the fact maybe they can at any moment say that there's something here they want, or like get evacuated. They just want to level this to the ground. They already leveled Rafah to the ground, which is the south. 90% of Khan Yunis is leveled to the ground. And the North Jabali camp is leveled to the ground. They already took 65% of the area of G Strip, and now they are demanding and claiming more and more. Like even with the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is I call that Gaza humiliation fabrication, because like they asked people to go and get aid and they shot at them. Like even there's I believe that a US soldier, like American, he was on these centers, and he went live on some channel news, and he said like the ADF was shooting on them. He saw them, and he wasn't okay with this, but he still he didn't do anything to stop it. I know that it was so brave of him that he said that on the news and everything, but at least he could have dropped his violence. And maybe he could have gone to them and asked them to stop, or maybe like I don't know, he could have done more. I know people are scared because like Trump is not just complicit. He's like consider Netanyahu, like I think he called them Bibi or baby or something.
Mm.
Like people have been making fun of him, like he's treating him as his wife or girlfriend or whatever, like they are partners. And this kind of attachment and this kind of connection between them, it is interfering with the world's affair, not just this, not just the two countries. It is this will bring America to its downfall. People, if they didn't start awakening to whatever Trump is doing, and if they didn't take him out of office and try to impeach his presidential status, that they should be scared. Not just us, all people in America and every nation, they should be scared because like it is crazy what's happening, you know. And I do scared for my people as well. I know that I said that my priority is my family, and it is for sure because they are my blood. I love them so much, and I've been living with them for forever, and I do love them. Like I know some families, sometimes they don't get along, but I love my nieces, I love my nephews, I love my sister, like my mom, my brother, my dad, everyone, and I do love my people as well. I just want everyone to be safe, but I don't know how I can save everyone. So this is why I say that I prioritize my family over everything. But even though now, when it came to save myself and or there's my family, I showed my family. Like in the beginning of the campaign, my GoFundMe campaign, I raised almost 15K, which was almost enough to get only one person evacuated. I asked my mom to get evacuated. She didn't agree. I asked my dad. I asked my brother. They all said that they want to leave anyone behind. And I was supposed to go. They told me that it is your money. You are the one who helped raising it and everything, and you should go out. And even my friends asked me to do so, but I couldn't. I couldn't bear the idea of me going out of Gaza and leaving them here facing whatever they are facing. So I stayed with them. So I don't know. I'm blabbering. Sorry.
Yeah, no, no, it's okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think family comes first for a lot of people, and I mean, it's such a and it's so honorable that you stayed behind for your family. You were talking a little bit before about how some people believe that it's a war, and you were very deliberate in choosing the word Holocaust. Having seen it firsthand, why do you say that to like let's say like anybody who's a Zionist that's listening to this? What would you say to them specifically, like why you choose those words?
Well, if the meaning of Holocaust, it is being, if I don't know the meaning from dictionary, but this is what
Mm,
I understand from Arabic. I am self-taught in English. So the Holocaust, which is the meaning in Arabic, al-mahraqa, it is in our culture, it is being burned to death, and what happened to you in Hitler's rule. He burned most of the Jews in big ovens, and some of them fled. And actually, some of them fled and came here to Gaza. This is and came here to Palestine. This is actually the start of our story. The end of their story there in Hitler's rule. It was the beginning of the story with us. You know, we saved them. We accepted them as guests, and we accepted them into our homes, into our land. And we said they are weak and they are vulnerable and they just need a place to stay. And we accept them as our brothers and sisters. We offered them shelter, we offered them food, work, and everything. And we were okay with it because, like, it is. They are our brothers and sisters in humanity, and this is what all of the people should do, like helping your neighbor or whoever who comes knocking on your door saying that I need help. I just ran away and I am scared for my life, and people are following me, trying to bury me to death. And what would you do if you were in this position? And this is what we did. Like my ancestors, they accepted them, and then after like some years, they start and saying that this land is theirs and they have the right to get here, and it was promised to them and stuff like this. I don't know where this has come from, to be honest. Like it's not even in their book. Like Isa, Jesus, he's also a prophet to Jews, and he's also a prophet that we believe in. Also, Musa, he's also a prophet that was sent to Jews. We also believe in him in Islam. He's one of the prophet that was mentioned in Quran. Also, Jesus, also among a lot other people like Isaac and Noah and everyone. And most of these prophets were sent to Jews to like get them to the right path and everything. But most, like all the stories in Quran about Jews say that they always lie and they always manipulative and they always change facts. And this fact that they say that this land was promised to them and there's some skeleton under the Al-Aqsa, Masjid Al-Aqsa mosque, and they said that they want to get it out. This has no evidence in history or like in religion. They say that this is within their religion, but actually they're actually Jews, and there have been a lot of videos over the years of Jews in America saying that in their religion, Jews shouldn't be having any country or like any community to be in, like in one city, or like this is their cares or like something test by God sent to them, and they are against this. They are not agreeing to this, and although this is in their books, the ones that haven't been fabricated or altered or anything.
Right, right. Yeah, it's just it's such a hard thing to grasp. Like, how could they come to somebody else's land and take their homes and exile them and do this? And also, it's so difficult to understand because Palestinians didn't do anything to Jewish people. It was Europeans that did all the things to them. But Palestinians are the ones who have to pay for this. And it almost seems like a lot of the times Zionists want to take out their anger of what like Germans did to them or Europeans did to them onto Palestinians for no reason at all, it seems. And I think that's part of why Europe supports Israel. Or I don't know. What do you think about that, Ahmed?
So you think that they are trying to what is the word, justify or like trying to find redundance, something like this, like
Yeah, yeah,
when you are guilty, yeah,
yeah.
this is why. Well, this is like a fascinating idea. I think, yeah, maybe this is the reason, like, because when Western started to wake up after the 7th of October, a lot of Arabs who were pro-Pali, when they were talking about how we, the Gazans, that we should leave Palestine and leave it to them. A lot of people started asking people, if you are okay with it, then give them your home, give them your country. If you are fine with it, why you are not offering what you have? Why you are offering something others have? You know, and I guess this comes from their fear that Jews, they will not stop at any cost or like any lines. They will be crossing any lines to do whatever they want, and I think, yeah, they are trying to shut them down because they wronged them in the past. But also, this is not the way to do it. Like, you did wrong them in the past and everything, and you can try to compensate them with something else, not just giving them a country that belongs to other people and land and trying to exile their own the people out of their own homes, and just what to like justify the fact that you hurt them and now you're trying to like compensate them in some ways. This is just not right. And I don't know, like, but a lot of Jews who are actually believe in Judaism, they accept the fact that they shouldn't have any country or any land under their name. So why they are not bringing this up on the news? Why when they talk they said the state of Israel and everything? Why they are not talking from like a religion perspective, since they are sometimes talking about Gazans as Muslims and from religion perspective about Islam and trying to attack Islam in itself? Why they are not talking about their religion, Judaism, which is said that they don't have a land, they shouldn't have a land?
No, no, absolutely. And a lot of the media, it seems to be so pro Zionist. in a lot of ways, and Palestinian voices are so hard to get through all the time. Like, it was having spoken to Americans and people in the West. How do you feel about just like average people in the West, like not governments, but like, do they come off as friendly to you? Do they come off as mean to you? You know, have you had good experiences, bad experiences?
You mean after the 7th or before the 7th of October?
Both, either.
Okay, well, before the 7th of October, like in Sudan, I used to have a lot of foreigner friends. I used to practice my English with them. I used to have this journalist friend. She was French, and she used to attend a lot of like meetings and parties with even ambassadors. I believe I was in a gathering with her, and we met some Russians and some Italians before October 7th. Yeah, like even like not a lot of people have been in love with Palestinians from like the funniest countries. Like I met some US guys. I think they were skeptical towards me. They didn't interact with me a lot and everything. And I think maybe because they work at embassies or something, I don't know. But it's still. But after the 7th of October, like on social media, a lot of people have been reaching out to me, and I have been communicating with a lot of people. This is how I met you, honestly. Like a lot of people have been welcoming and trying to support us and to give us to a hand and to help us. And yeah, I feel so blessed that I met a lot of people. I already built a community on Discord. I have a lot of volunteers who are helping me with social media platforms because, like, I know I don't know thing about these things, and I don't even know how to make a brand or whatever they say these days. And I am actually 32, so I am not like a Gen Z or whatever. But yeah, and actually, anyone who's watching this, if you are willing to help, you should join our community. It's already on my Linktree, among other social links to a lot of platforms that I don't even know if I know about, to be honest.
Somebody in the chat called you an unk, so they called you uncle, which means you're old, basically. Um,
Well, yeah, I'm an uncle, obviously.
you are literally, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no. I think that's so nice that people have been so willing. I think especially after this, what has happened, everything Palestine has sort of been put on a world map, and everybody sort of knows what's happening there and knows about Palestine. It's not in the way that I think a lot of us would hope for it to happen, unfortunately. But I think it's nice that people are being nice towards you and very accepting. Well,
Thank
what
you.
were people like before that though? Like they're very mean, or they saw you guys as terrorists, or what?
Well, in Sudan, I didn't like have any encounters this. I don't want to lie. I make a big deal after this. So I never had something like this, like calling me a terrorist or like selfish Arab or like savage or whatever.
Mhm.
But like on social media before war, yeah, some people called me that. Like this is why I dimmed my presence on social media. I used to be very active. Like I've been doing some humanitarian work. Like I used to advocate for the minorities in Sudan. And sometimes I used to write about what is happening in Gaza here. There have been a lot of wars, and I did write about this. My sisters were with us in Sudan. After finished their studies, they went back to Gaza in the year 2013. My elder sister came here, and then my other sister in 2014. And in 2014, there have been this huge war that continued for like 54 days. This was the longest war ever experienced by the Gazans here and by the G Strip, but it wasn't. Like people have been saying that was the awful war, the bad war that they ever, the worst ever. But it wasn't as bad as this one. Like they didn't lose. Like even in 2012, they have been a war that lasted only 8 days, and we lost almost 100 buildings, a lot of civilians, and destruction was worth $1.2 billion. Imagine that this war It kept going for 21 months. Imagine that, like most of the infrastructure and the buildings are already wiped out from the face of of the earth. So yeah, it's just before the war, yeah, in like not in person, but sometimes on social media. But yeah, after the war, like the 7th of October, I did, even though with the Bali movie and everything, a lot of people have been calling me a fraud actually. Some people called me a Pakistani, that I'm trying to raise funds just to get the money for myself. Like
Mm,
I don't even exist in Gaza. And some people actually called me Azayo an Israeli because like on Instagram, you know how Meta don't acknowledge that Palestine exists. So on their map, no Palestine. There's only is not real. And there have been this person who reached out to help me. Like they said that they are offering to help me, but I told them that I don't need any help. But like I'm already almost finished with my goal. And if you want to help, you can help my sisters or like my other relatives, or maybe you can help by spreading my poetry. But they asked me for like a video that I should do outside in the middle of destruction and 30-60 degrees around me to see them all my surroundings. But like back then in Deir al-Balah, they have had no homes have been destroyed. I have no destruction. I was trying to tell them that, but they said that I am lying and that I am Azawi and Israeli, because like only on Meta, like on Instagram, they showed you that my location is not real. So imagine like saying to a Gazan who living through genocide this. I couldn't believe it. Like I got so depressed. So, like for a couple of days, I was crying immensely, and my social anxiety got to the roof, and my panic attacks. Like it was awful, to be honest.
mm, mm, mm. Recently, it's been announced that Israel might try to announce that they're going to formally annex Gaza. How do you feel about that? How do people on the ground feel about that news? Does it feel like they've already been trying and they're just like officially saying it now, or?
Yeah, yeah. This actually been has been the plan for years now. Like this was a golden opportunity to them, to be honest. Like a lot of people have been sharing this fear on the ground here in Gaza. Uh, they already, as I said earlier, destroyed 85% of the infrastructure, and they already occupied 65% of the G Strip. They flattened to the ground Rafah in the south, Jabalia in the north. Most of the eastern areas, they were farming areas. Most of them got destroyed. My uncles, they used to have land there that filled with palm trees and olive trees and oranges, jawapa, and a lot of other plants. And all of them, it got destroyed when they entered the eastern of Deir al-Balah on the, I think, last year in December or something. We had evacuation orders to the blocks near to Salah ad-Din, which is to the east from us. It was like less than 1 kilometer from my home. And after they got out of these lands, when the families and my uncles went there to see what was the thing that they have in there, like what was the amount of destruction, they saw all of the land got destroyed. Everything, all the crops, they destroyed it. So they already trying to annex all of people. And even as I told you, when I wrote the poem Walls, Windows and a Door, when Trump got into the office, he said that they want to immigrate all of people. He said all of the people of Gaza. He said that he wants to make Gaza Plaza or something like a spa in the Sea of Gaza. He said that he will make it an investment. So, and now a lot of people are coming forward to invest in this. Like I think even India supported this decision and said that they are willing to invest in this as well. So it is not a surprise fully to us, because like they have been get Gaza for years now, and now even the war started around the time that they discovered this huge gas source in the White Sea, in the Mediterranean Sea. And that was around the time that this war started. And even when the first truce happened, when they were arguing about what Israel can take or what not, because like they were trying to get some soldiers in the, I forgot the name of it, like in one of the corridors between the south and north. um, I keep forgetting the names of the neighborhoods here. Sorry, but yeah, that was. if you look directly from this corridor that they wanted to stay present in, that was directly towards the source of the gas in the Mediterranean Sea. And this was the plan because a lot of countries are trying to get a hand on this. It worth a billion and billion of dollars. And Gaza not just have this source of gas, but there's a lot of natural resources here, like the farming lands and everything that we used to be sufficient. We never had like importing vegetables or like groceries from Israel or any other states. People used to farm here and eat like we used to eat fresh vegetables every week because this is what
Yeah.
is available here. So yeah, they already going with this plan and it is already in motion, and I think they are nailing it. Like, what is still here? Like they already took everything, and now people, all of the people, if you open your like social media accounts, there's a lot of Gazans who say that they are willing to get out of Gaza because there is no life here in Gaza. Like their houses got destroyed, their schools, their work sites, their anything. There's nothing left here.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Did it always feel like they were trying to take Gaza before October 7th, or did they give you a little? Did it feel like there was some little less pressure, or it has it always felt like they've been trying to take the land?
Well, it has been always felt like this, but like back in the days, I think when do you know about Mohammed Morsi when he took office in Egypt? He was the president for like almost 2 to 3 years. He was
Yeah.
also he was supporting each group, and back then there was a war started when he was like in office, like in Egypt, and the war only like lasted for like I think 4 to 5 days or something. Like immediately he opened the borders, like the Rafah border. It was open. People used to leave to Egypt and get out to Gaza. Like anyone who wants to get out, anyone who want to get in, a lot of foods were getting in. Like it didn't trap us. Like now Egypt, I know, like, and like this is happening because a lot of people have been waking up to this, and even the president Sisi is now making like this announcement that it is not his fault and he can't open the borders because like it is not one-sided, and Israel needs to approve the open of the Rafah border. But it's not the truth. Like if he wants to do it, like already Morsi and his rule already did that, so why didn't he?
Yeah, no, I mean it just seems like excuses from all the leaders in the region. It really does. It seems like they're making excuses, especially Sisi, the Khalijis, what's his name, Mohammed, who's the
Ahmed
president of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it seems like that. Um, is there any hope within you that the people of Gaza can stand up and not, especially since they're trying to push everybody out. Is there hope within you that you guys can stand up and resist, or is what's up
Well,
here?
yeah. Well, as I said, Deir al-Balah is the last city standing. So a lot of families, like in the middle area, I believe like there's 400,000 people living here in Balah, like originally living in Deir al-Balah or in the south, and they still have homes and they still have some source of income or anything, some source of normality. So a lot of people, when I ask them about this, they say like we don't have anything outside to go to, but they are trying to not leave us anything here to stay to. So if the wars stopped, if this atrocities stopped being committed against us, if the bombing stopped, if the surveillance plans, if they left us be here, a lot of people they would rather stay because like they don't know anything outside. And Gaza is beautiful. Like why do you think Trump is trying to make this Gaza Plaza or whatever spy is trying to make? Like the weather is fine and you can grow any fruits, any vegetables here. People have been being growing all of kind of stuff. Like even now, my neighbors, I think they have like a peach a tree, and my auntie she has like palm trees and multiple of olive trees around my house. A lot of people already have these kind of things, but they can't take care of them at these circumstances because like there's not enough source of electricity or water or any the basic necessities. Like even though now a lot of people have been trying to rip out these trees from their roots to just use them as for cooking, as a wood for fire. And this is not right. If we haven't been forced to do that, nobody would have done it. So yes, some people would rather stay here if these things, the insane things that's happening to them, stopped. But do you see it stopping?
Uh, it's very hard to tell. Well, but no,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. Why you said your uncle had olive trees, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, why are olive trees so important to Palestinian identity? You think like why is it so representative? And what do you think Israelis always target the olive tree?
Uh, well, I am not much of an expert about this, but
Yeah.
from the things my dad and my uncles tell stories about this, like the olive oil is the most pure one, like it's the most pure olive. People in the past used to rely 100% on it. Like they use it to make lights. I don't know what was called, like the thing that you dip a cloth into the olive oil and you light it, and it will be so bright and so pure, and it doesn't have a lot of smoke and stuff like this. So they use it to do that. And a lot of people have been using it as a medicine, like even people up until now, like the people who are above 50 or 60, they drink it without anything adding to it. They say that it's healthy to do it. And also they use it for their bodies, like as lotion and stuff like this. And they eat it like it was kind of relying on everything. And people have been using to like export it, I think, import or export. I can't remember. But yeah, to get it out of export to out of Gaza to like get money in exchange. So yeah, I think because it was a vital source of income in every aspect of life, this is why they're trying to represent it. And even though, yeah, like in different cultures, the stick like of olive trees, the shape of leaves, it is a peace symbol as well, and with the pigeons and everything. So maybe this is why, because like we are telling the world that we are peaceful people. We have been farming our lands and doing our thing for like decades, and this just awful entity come to our land and trying to take it out from us and trying to uproot any culture existence of us, and they're trying to like erase us forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any childhood memories from Gaza? I know you left when you were 9, but like, what are some of your favorite childhood memories? Do you have anything funny, anything like that?
Well, I think I mentioned one of them on the poem Don't Leave Us Behind. I used to like climbing a lot. I used to climb everything. I used to climb the walls. I used to climb palm trees, olive trees, the windows, everything. I even have a table like it was, it fell on me and I was injured. And also I broke my arm. My mom always tell me this. I almost fell out of the roof, but my sister caught me, my elder sister, Ivan. And I remember my grandmother. She was really a sweet lady. I used to love her so much. She always used to give us cookies and biscuits, like all of grandmothers. Like as I said, we are just human beings as anyone else. Like the memories that I have will be similar to anyone around the world outside of Gaza. It's just we are human beings.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys had all the human stuff. As sympathetic as people are towards Gaza, do you sometimes hate that people only see you guys as victims?
Obviously, yes. Like, imagine if the war wasn't happening at all. Do you think people would care if we are on social media or everything? We will be like any other influencers. Like, they will say that this is a Palestinian actor or like this is a Palestinian poet and everything. But yeah, like we will be living in peace, kinda. And I would hate for people to think that we are only just victims, but not just victims. We were in peace. We were doing our thing, and then this war started, not just now, like 78 years ago. And ever since, we didn't have any peaceful moments. Like we are trying to imagine if you are being accused to make a crime that you didn't do. This is exactly what they are putting us in. We're trying to say that we are the originals, the indigenous people of this land. And the people are on their side. I don't know why. Like if they came here, they will see that we have homes that belong to like 30, 40, 50, 70, 60 years back. That is not real estate. When did it start? Like 75 years ago? I think they celebrated the anniversary like a few months ago or something. So
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, yeah. They're only 75 years old, and they're taking homes that are generations and generations old. Have you ever met any Israelis? What, and if you have, what was that experience like? Like conversationally or
Well, I never met anyone physically, like in real life. I met
okay.
some of them online. Uh, and not Zayus. I think I know I met some Zayus and some Jews. Like I have met some Jews who were supportive of the Palestinian cause and like
Mm,
Gaza school and everything. And even they're trying to help raise awareness, raising funds, sending lots of money in to Gaza because they know that whatever is not real is doing, it is wrong. But some of the Zayus that I met, they used to say they said that we don't have the right to exist, and whatever I am doing is wrong. And some of them even didn't even know my story and said, "Why did I elect Hamas to be in rule?" So I replied to them simply, "I was out of this land for 21 years. I just got back and I got stuck here. It wasn't by choice, you know." And if you are serious about opening the borders, why you're not opening them? They said that they want to evacuate us or immigrate people or like let people go. So why they are why they are still trapping us into this open air prison? Why they want open the borders? Why they won't let anyone in or out? Why they are not letting any journalist in or like trying to document whatever they are doing, and everything that we are trying to document they always say it's fake or it's not happening, and they're trying to say that they are more humans more than us, and the IDF is the most moral army in the history, like the the audacity of that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of lies, and I think especially for somebody in Gaza, it must be just crazy seeing them lie, just straight out, and you especially know more than anybody that what they're just saying is bullshit, and yeah, oh,
I have on my link tree under my bio there's a GoFundMe that has been started by some of my friends that I met in Sudan. They work for NGOs, and one of them is now head of NGO in Mexico. Her name is Carol, and another friend, her name is Emily. She's living in the UK, and actually, she has been recently in Egypt, and she reverted to Islam. Not thanks to me, like fully, but she said, like after meeting me, she she really felt more closer to Allah. And this is when she realized that she needs to do it now. And she
mm,
brought some of the money because it's all in under her name. She brought some of the money and give to my brother. He's in Egypt, and he's trying to send the money to us. So I have my GoFundMe campaign running by my friends. I have my sister's GoFundMe campaign also running by other friends with Carol. My sister Rania, the one that gave birth to Rose and Yusuf. And my other sister, Iman, like recently, she finally got convinced that she should leave G Strip. Like I told her, people say that they don't have anything else here. And if the war keeps going like this, there will be nothing left of them, not just the land, even themselves, like they might die. And we have been trying to convince them, like my in law, they weren't so convinced that they should leave Gaza, but now they say by any means they want to leave. So I added info about my sister Iman as well, and I'm trying to raise donations, not just to help only with food and restructure or whatever. We're trying to build a life for us outside, so we're trying to buy our way out of Gaza. So the exit permits they used to cost 15K when it started, then it got down to 10, then 5, then get back to 7, and now like 15 again. I don't know, to be honest. Like I'm not sure, and I do sometimes feel like I am selfish and greedy for asking this lots of money to save myself and my family. But to
mm,
be honest, I don't have any other choice, and I don't know. That's just it. And I'm trying to work on another project for a documentary film. There's also a cabinet for that, but that's not a priority right now. The priority is getting me out and my sisters. So please donate to my campaign and my sister's campaign. And if this finished, maybe we can start doing the film project.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna post this on all my social medias, this live, and I'll post your link tree and everything. What's your documentary about?
My documentary is called "Don't Leave Us Behind." Poets Echo from Gaza. It is about the life that I'm living here under siege and the changes that I had, like someone who grew with social anxiety, grew up with social anxiety and panic attacks, and I got this. I started the journey on social media, advocating for my family, and then advocating for all of my people. How I got inspired writing all of these poems. It will be revolving around my story integrated with my poems. So I'll be reciting some of my poems during the film, sharing footages from my daily life under siege. And all of this is not about the destruction or whatever atrocity that had been committed against us. It's about seeing the humanity within the life that we are living, even under siege. Seeing my nephews, my nieces, my mom, and us cooking, laughing, playing, just doing normal human stuff because this is a reminder to people like Gazans as humans as anyone else out there.
Thank you so much, folks, for listening to this episode. Ahmed's link tree should be in the description of this episode. I highly suggest you go over there and join his Discord, and also donate to his sister's family if you can.